Hi lovely people, it's another Rachel's Ramble. The last one seemed to go down quite well, so I thought I'd do another one. So grab a brew because it promises to be a longer one. I've got my tea, Lady Grey today. I like Lady Grey, it's good. I like Earl Grey, but I really like Lady Grey too. So I want to talk a bit about today about why I plan. And I've spoken little bits about this before, certainly in my 1 year anniversary video, which I'll leave linked or on a card up there. Trying to decide which way it is. Oh no, it's just dodgy dancing. Yeah. Oh dear me. But I asked last time about why do you plan and what do you need from your planner, and you know, we got into that whole thing of what problems do you have with your planner. And I had some really interesting answers, and there were different things like, and I jotted some down in my work bullet journal. Yes, I'm experimenting with bullet journaling, people. I have one for work and one for personal, which probably defeats the object of bullet journaling, but it helps me keep my life straight. So, things that I jotted down in here, people have said about a very kind of basic thing of it helps them just manage the time and not forget things, and also to not get overcommitted, because if you know you have a certain amount of time and you've blocked out some of that time for something, you can see at a glance whether you can say yes to something else. And I think that is I really like that one, because as I think especially as women, it's really easy to say yes to everybody. You know, women are generally naturally caring. I know I'm generalising, but if you're an uncaring woman and you want to let me know about that, that's fine. But generally we do tend to care about other people and want to help them, and we give of ourselves. And so I think that time management aspect and not getting overcommitted is so important, because that links in very much with this idea of looking after ourselves, not getting overwhelmed, and some of the things that I really liked that were in there too were things like it just being a really good form of stress relief. It's a creative time for yourself, and I mean certainly when I look at my planner, and I just see that, it just makes me happy. You know, the act of going through and selecting colours and stickers and things, it just makes me happy. It used to make me happy when I was colour coding it all with pens. I used to enjoy that too. It was much more attractive. And you know, I glance at my planner throughout the day, and they just make me smile. There's always something that jumps off the page at me, like it might be one of the Once More with Love Wacky Holidays, or it might be a quote that's in there, or a little thing that I've jotted down about the kids or something that I've been doing, but just something that just makes me smile. If that's the only reason that we plan, then I think that's good enough, because life's hard enough and we could all use more smiles. So there's that kind of creative side of it, the actual time management, remembering things, memory keeping. Something that I found really interesting was not that many people talked about kind of self-development and productivity, which is an area that I've really been thinking about recently, is how am I going to use my planner to actually help me achieve my goals, which kind of is almost the second question, the first one being what are my goals and what do I want to achieve. So that's kind of where my thinking's at the moment, a little bit. But the other two things that I just wanted to chat a little bit about with you, one is this idea of it being a really good way of helping your well-being, self-care, mental health, all that kind of stuff. And the other one is somebody said about it being a legacy, and I completely agree with that, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about that. So in terms of the mental health aspect and self-care, now self-care has always been a term that I had serious problems with, partly because I thought it was selfish to look after yourself. It's not. It's taken me 30 years to find that out, but it's not. And actually being aware of your own needs, be they physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever it might be, I think is absolutely absolutely crucial, because if we don't do it for ourselves, can we really expect other people to do it for us? And equally, if we're not running on a full tank, full battery, whatever analogy you like, how are we meant to look after other people effectively, to the best that we can? So yeah, so a couple little thoughts there. For me, I mean, I've spoken about this on previous videos and different things. You know, when I was going through a really hard time a few years back, and I was struggling with quite severe depression, high functioning depression, but depression nonetheless, less. And you know, that is still something that I have to manage, and it is a daily thing of going, right, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to keep that balance. And I've had to learn so much about what I need and accept that it's okay to need those things. Yeah, those were difficult things to learn, and because it is literally reprogramming of your brain, rewiring of your mind, and yeah, it's a process, and it's an ongoing one, and it's something that has to be practiced. And actually planning for me became absolutely crucial in that, because when I was really poorly, because it is poorly, you know, it is poorly, but when I really wasn't very well, I used to write down every day in my planner 3 things that I was going to do for myself that day, even if one of them was write something in my planner. Okay, that's kind of the level we're at. And I would tick them off, and sorry, phone's beeping. And it helped me to first of all say, yes, I am worth taking that time to look after, because I had two young children at home, you know, husband not at home, at work, but you know what I mean, cat, he was the most demanding of them all, but I needed to have that time for me as well, and to say, yes, I can make myself a priority. Add to that the fact that I just love colour, it just makes me happy, so sticking stickers and doing all that really just made me feel better, made me feel better and happier, and made me smile, and that's great. Plus it kind of led into the shop, which is absolutely brilliant. It's funny how things come together, isn't it? And the other side of it as well was it just gave me some purpose, which you need. And so yeah, so mental health and planning, I think they go very, very firmly hand in hand. And I said this week, I said to some friends, I said, if I ever do a PhD, it's totally going to be on the impact of planning and mental health and how it can support and help, because I think it's quite a few of us out there who would agree that it has helped with some really rough times. And also helps you just to stop getting into those rough times, because now I make it a priority to actually do that and have those systems in place and do those things. I still write down things I'm going to do for myself. Yeah, so there you go. Second thing that I wanted to touch on was this idea of legacy, and kind of goes a little bit with memory keeping. Excuse me. And I love being able to flick back through my planner pages and my journal pages. I journal much more in my traveller's notebook than I do in my planner. I used to put stuff in my planner, but I just found it got too busy looking on the page, and I just felt like, I was like, oh, I can't do this. And it was losing its purpose, which was to plan. So yes, memory keeping a planner, absolutely, that's fine. But I just think if you're trying to use it for too many things, it can get a bit overwhelming and chaotic. Or you might need to do it like, you know, use your notes page for memories and things like that. I've done that as well, and that I used to like doing it with that. But now I use my Daisy Dory, which if you've watched my Coca Daisy videos you'll know about. And yes, I'm going to be setting up June's shortly, so I'm getting ready to film that next. So memory keeping and legacy. Someone put, what if someone's handwriting was lost because they kept everything digitally? Your handwriting, I think, is so personal. You know, it's like fingerprints. You can recognise someone's handwriting. and it is so personal. The power of a handwritten note or letter, oh, it's huge. And that's why I don't think that digital stuff will ever completely replace pen and paper. Nah, not a chance. Because there is something so special about the written word, the handwritten word. I have a note. I have two things that come to mind when I think about written down things. I have a note from my dad, which he left me when I would have been early teens, I think, and I left him a note saying something or other. He was on night shift, so I'd not seen him. I'd left for school and he wasn't home, or he was in bed or something. I'd left him a note, and he left me one back for when I got home from school, because he would have gone to work. Yeah, he was on really bizarre shifts, and it says something like, Rachel, your room is very good and tidy, love from Dad. And first off, my dad was somebody who really didn't like his handwriting, and still doesn't, I don't think, because he was told at school it was bad, which is sad, isn't it? Because that's not nice. I think his handwriting's great, but so I had a note that was written by him, so that was special. And also, you know, what it said and things. And it said love from Dad and stuff like that. And I still have that note. And the other thing that I have as well are my mum's diaries. And I spoke a little bit about these at Cam's PlannerCon, and you can see the kind of the years and things. And yeah, somebody asked what stationery item is most important to you, or could you not live without? And I know they were kind of getting at supplies and stuff, and I would have to say stickers, but the first things that came to mind as to what was most important to me were my mum's diaries. And I mean, I have one from 1990, and it's just got little bits about her life and little things about, you know, what she was doing on that day, and even down to, there's a day here and it says, you know, choose it, hairdressers 9:30 a.m, curly perm, because Mum used to have curly perm in 1990, so I'd have been 6 at this point, and I remember her with that, with the curly perm, and it's, yeah. And I've also got things like, you know, she's got written on there, Rachel 7, my 7th birthday, and that we were going out that night, and yeah, these special, really, really special. And the kind of, after the children, obviously, and the husband and the cat. Actually, I'd probably tell the husband to get the cat. These are the first thing I'd grab out of the house in a fire, because they're special, because she's not here anymore. And but when I look at these and I read them, I remember things. And there's also bits where, like when Luke and I got engaged on that day, I've got my own memories of that day and my own bits and things from that, but Mum's written it down from her perspective. Can't say the word. And that's special. That's really special. And yeah. So, why do we plan? Many reasons, isn't it? Many, many reasons. But I'd really encourage you to think about why you plan, and whether there's anything in your planning or your planner that you could see being a legacy for someone, even if it's for yourself 10 years in the future. I'll just leave you that thought. Thanks for listening to the waffle and joining me for a brew, and I'm going to shut up now, because I could talk for ages, in case you can't tell. And I shall speak to you again soon, lovely people. Let me know if there's any topics or things you would like me to ramble about. Otherwise I shall just keep thinking of them at random and ramble. Anyway, hope you have a fab rest of the day. Speak to you soon.